As the countdown to the January 15th, 2026 general elections tightens, the Chorus for Peace has once again taken the national stage. A joint stakeholders engagement convened by the Uganda Human Rights Commission attempted to chart a peaceful path to the polls. But the Commission arrived with a basket of concerns, most of them pointing to a campaign trail already showing troubling shadows. According to the Commission, emerging trends, particularly in the central region, signal a worrying rise of vigilante tendencies. Some opposition political parties have been on record asking their loyalists to be vigilant in guarding the vote come 2026. But the Commission warns that this brand of vigilance is quickly morphing into foot soldier brigades, the kind that complicates security rather than protect democracy.
We have noted the rise of youth groups acting as vigilantes and political foot soldiers, particularly in the central region. These groups are unlawful, dangerous, and incompatible with a democratic process. Election security remains the constitutional mandate of the Uganda Police Force alone, and we urge that these formations are disbanded immediately.
The media did not escape scrutiny either. The Commission accused some mainstream media outlets of offering biased reporting and steaming fire into the electoral atmosphere.
It is troubling that some mainstream media houses have recently swung into action to discredit the electoral process through narratives that are false, exaggerated, or selectively framed. Notably, the claims of police brutality against some candidates circulating in selected outlets have not been corroborated by facts, yet they are being amplified recklessly.
The Electoral Commission too found itself on the receiving end of uncomfortable questions. How did a campaign season that opened with cheer suddenly veer into violence?
If everybody stayed in their lane and acted in accordance with the law, we would not, the laws and the guidelines. The Commission, as was mentioned by the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission, issued guidelines for campaigns, for instance, on time, when you should campaign and when you should stop campaign, banned processions, prohibited conduct of campaigns in the middle of roads and public spaces that have people in them, like markets, schools, hospitals. But we have begun to see some candidates not following those guidelines. And that is the real issue.
But observers were quick to ask, enforcement for some, leniency for others. For instance, the ban on processions seems to be enforced with great zeal on certain opposition candidates, while others enjoy a more relaxed, almost massaged interpretation of the same laws.
The guidelines, when the Commission issues them, they have no colors. I have not seen that different parties or candidates are given yellow or red or blue or what type of colors. Those guidelines for campaigns, guidelines for nominations are applied equitably to all.
Also in the room was the Uganda Communications Commission, whose official role is to regulate media and communications. Yet an unspoken role, one that mysteriously reappears every electoral cycle, is the dreaded internet shutdown. If elections are supposed to be democratic and transparent, then how does unplugging an entire nation's internet fit into the picture?
But there is no known government position that the internet will be shut down before or during elections. Internet shutdowns, when it occurs, it is caused by circumstances. Circumstances caused by us, the users of these platforms.
Security agencies were equally on the spot. Police, who are long-time dance partners with campaign season violence, attempted to explain away incidents of brutality against opposition players and their supporters. As always, regret was expressed, explanations were given, but accountability was left somewhere between apology and ambiguity.
We always have errors. We don't send out officers to go and do sometimes the errors they do. But when they do them, we investigate. Probably why the public thinks that we do not take action against our officers is maybe because the media, you never get to know this information, and the public. But this is a recommendation that I'm taking back to my Inspector General of Police to see how this information can always be aired.
In the end, the engagement raised more questions than answers. And as Uganda inches closer to the 2026 general elections, the biggest question remains, will these stakeholders confront the hard truths staring them in the face, or will the country once again be asked to trust peace sermons that dissolve the moment campaigns touch the ground? David Ijjo, NTV.